All of you are gathered around the war table. There are 4 locations that need to be attacked at once. There are many people to send to each of these places. My friends, you all have planning to do. I have given you weeks of notice to ask me questions. From here on out, this is all you. My answer to the following questions will be one of the follows. Most of them will be answered with no way to know until you get there. You'll only find out if you try. Understand?
Understood.
I leave it to you. You tell me when you're done. Good luck. Make good choices. My friends, the world is yours.
I will also say we can do this at a character. That's also okay.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like
We
I
have
don't
4
think
main
this.
strike points.
Yeah.
No. I don't want to be the captain who gets shit on this entire time.
You had enough of that. Because yeah, we have
I really
Dianthus at the engines,
Uh-huh.
Dandelion at the planar transport device, the Goliath we fought after Contest of Champions, who is on the protective barriers, and Kane, who is sitting on the like God's soul is how I labeled it, but it's like the deity of chaos.
Yeah.
Deity of order.
Order.
Yeah,
They're in the chaos
order.
plane
It's
sitting
the
on the order
essence
deity.
of the God of Order.
I think we should do the list that Dash put, but throw BB at Kane as well.
What I have is for Dianthus, put Harlan, Gum Gum, Samantha, who is a 20th level scout rogue,
Okay.
and Ileana. For Dandelion at the transport device, do Garagak, Tapartos, Garbanzo Bean, and Timother, who Garbanzo Bean is a 20th level wild magic sorcerer.
Excellent.
Timother, I didn't look that closely through the character sheet.
There is not a Timothy character sheet.
Yeah, well, it's like I didn't know if it was somewhere within Garbanzo Beans, and I didn't go through it. And Soup. On the
Okay.
Goliath, I put Lysander, Argus, Tumult, and Bubba.
Okay.
And then on Kane, I put Rhyme, Ivan, Lochthwain, who is a 20th level monk, and Phil. Wave the
Okay.
Open Palm monk.
And that's a pretty even distribution of our resources.
It is.
That is
It's
like
4 on
four
each.
everywhere.
I tried to make
Okay.
sure we had a fighter on each. The rest of the party's really heavy magics. So I tried to get a
Yeah.
rogue-like character, so kind of a DPS flighty type person, a heavy hitter. That's why I split Harlan, Garagak, Lysander, and Lochthwain. Casters, and then just kind of rounded out with the extra bits that I could.
I looked through it briefly, but I'll be honest, I've been elsewhere this week. Also, cut me off if I'm dominating the conversation. But this seems wonderful to me. But the biggest concerns I have are making sure that we have somebody to we have a damage soak, a damage output, and something to mitigate in each party. As long as we have mitigation resources, I know Argus has all sorts of bullets. I'm good at healing. Illy's good at healing. Everybody can do all their things.
I think the
Garagak
only
hits hard,
rough
Lysander
one
hits
on
hard.
that front is going to be Kane, because
Okay.
the caster I have over there is Ivan.
Okay.
And that's
Which-
why I said throw BB at it too, because we don't know what BB's capable of, but we know he is powerful enough that Ivan
Yeah.
cannot control him.
Okay.
He's gonna
Did
take
we
the
have
God
BB
Soul.
in the original
No,
conversation?
we did, but we never reached out to him, so I didn't include him on my list. But we do
Oh,
have.
then I think it's a great idea to put BB on that front then.
But yeah, we do have him now because I said his name and he kind of showed up when I was
Yeah.
talking to Ivan.
Yeah.
That seems like the perfect place to put BB.
And with me, with Tapartos, I can teleport and keep him alive. So
Yeah.
that's pretty solid.
And I will keep you up, my friend.
Yeah. Toss me with heals and I'll eat your damage easy.
I
And
guess
I'll
the
be
only
fully
problem we
honest,
have-
I will not go anywhere besides where Dandelion is. My goal is the death of that man.
Yeah, that was my
Yeah.
thought. If I tried
Come
to do a
hell or high
little bit
water.
of the
My only question now is with what came later and Garagak now found out and has not talked to Tapartos ish, other than throwing a potion at him. How well that
I feel like
dynamic
Dandy
goes
might be the
character-wise.
bigger threat to him, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Garagak
be
doesn't
honest,
hate Tapartos.
I
Garagak
will
is
be
disappointed.
confident. And that is a
Yeah.
conversation I feel like we can have eventually.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think this is something that is going to shatter our friendship. I feel
No.
very confident in who you are, who I am, and what we have become. And I fully expect that I will have to grovel for you, but I don't think that you're going to betray me at the last moment, or
No.
vice versa.
No.
I really don't think that I think that Heartland's really going to be useful going toe to toe with another heavy hitter. There's like no way he's going to be able to keep up with people that can move fast or anything either.
That's
so,
why I put you with the alleged paladin.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
paladin PV paladin's gonna be a nightmare, but that's why I also gave you Gum Gum, the 20th level gunslinger,
Mhm.
and Samantha the scout rogue, with Illy doing weird magic shit because she's got like
Yeah.
18 layers of stacked stuff that she can do
Facts.
So
in
Just
very
from-
specific
the
scenarios,
biggest of
but having
brains.
nobody focus on you is helpful.
So from Argus's point of view, why did you put 3 people against the Goliath?
You mean 4?
No, there's 3.
Because Lysander's there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because this is all we need, and I need you to help shut down the barriers. I don't think like we can't have you teach someone how to do it because we don't know what it looks like, and you're the only one that can definitely tinker enough to turn it off safely.
Are we divvying the glyphs out, Allie, or are you just like packing fucking heat with stones?
No, divvying them out.
Okay.
So the idea
okay.
behind
Preparations
having
look
so
like.
many of them is we're gonna force out some of their action economy to be dispelled, or they're
Okay.
gonna have to deal with this ridiculous, like I'm thinking regenerate, holy weapon, divine favor, like heroism on Garagak, like have a couple big ones,
Yeah.
Garagak, Bubba, and then really any of the other tanks. I was thinking to give like big stacks, but then everyone
Okay.
gets a little bit of something.
Also, Argus is going to pull some more shenanigans before we leave, and we're going to have Fortune's favor.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
What does that do?
It's a luck point, right?
Yep, pretty much.
A single luck point.
And it can be used either
Per
way.
person or
Yeah,
wow.
that's why it was cast at 9th level. It's a 2nd level spell, so at 9th level it can cover 8 people, and he'll just have to get it done twice.
Allie, in putting this list together of, I am now realizing 48 glyphs, did you have
insane.
an idea of who would get what?
So Sanctuary is for Kappa Ilia because she's going to be a healer. She's not going to do any damage, so Sanctuary will actually stay on her for the longest.
Right.
Blesses is for anyone who thinks they might not make a save. I'm looking at Blesses more for saves than attacks. They also have for attacks, but we want to have those, like, we don't want to be hit by spells. So
The blesses are going to be super useful to the people without a paladin.
okay, yeah. So we'll make sure that any team that doesn't have a paladin has the blesses. Circle of Power, same deal. I'll look it up real fast, but it's essentially anyone in that 10-foot circle gets resistance to spell damage. And hold on, it's an Ivan sheet. 1 second. All right, so it's a 30-foot magical energy thingy, diffusing 30 feet, 10 minutes. Sphere moves with you, send it on you. Each friendly creature in the area, including you, has advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects.
So it's Holy Avenger.
So yeah, so any team that doesn't have a
Spectacular.
paladin, throw a circle of power on there as well. Again, we want to try to divvy up some of the higher level ones so that they have to burn more dispels, burn more action economy, burn more of those spell
Right.
slots dispelling, while we do our damage.
Want to kill
Do
those legendary
these
actions.
stack?
Yeah. So
Okay.
the way the glyphs works is any spell that would normally affect more than one creature, such as Bless, only affects the one creature. It lasts for its entire duration. If it's a concentration spell, it does not require concentration. Because one of the questions I asked was, are we going to these fights immediately? Do I look at 1 minute spells or do I just look at 10-minute and hour spells? But we're seemingly going in immediately. So
Okay.
a lot of these are also 1 minute spells. But again, heavy hitters should have like Holy Weapon, Divine Favor, Regenerate or Aura of Life. Having that on basically means you can't die unless they outright kill you. Regenerate gives you 1 HP at the start of your turn. So if you're at 0 HP, you get the 1 HP if you're not dead. Aura of Life does the same thing. If you're at 0 HP, you get 1 HP. So those are good for people that have a lot of life, so they can't be one-shotted, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think it's
Braden-
solid.
So that's great for our tanks, so we can be able
I
to bring them
think
back up afterwards.
one of
Oh.
the true seeing should definitely go to the Dandelion group.
Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah.
every group should have 1 true scene just for fuckery, just for any kind of
Yeah, because that might be the
Smart.
game of the Goliath's altars might be hidden. Aspects, not altars, my bad. Who knows what Dianthus has sitting in there? Who knows what Kane has sitting in there? But we know Dandy is a tricky motherfucker. So
Like I said, we can double up on one of them because I have true seeing.
Yeah.
Like innately.
Regardless, that's another thing to think about what we know about them from the past experiences we've had with each of these people. We fought Dandy, we fought the Goliath. We haven't really fought Dianthos outside of his like teleportation, extra spatial magic.
and that wasn't
the-
even a fight, that was a conversation.
Yeah, exactly. And we have a concept of Kane, but not even really what it is he's capable.
And that's why I think it's smart of us to throw the 5 at Dandelion and 5 at Kane while the rest get the 4. And then Goliath gets
Yeah.
3 in Argus's case.
I agree.
Um,
I'm just trying to help.
I guess
I'm
I
here
guess
for you.
You're doing great, buddy.
I guess I'll take one of the regenerate glyphs. That'd be probably good for me.
Yeah, the
right?
healers should be the ones with the auto res.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
Harlan should have one, Taparta should have one, Lysander or Argus should have one.
Argus
it-
will have 2 with his bullets.
Okay.
Yeah, Argus
yeah.
has stupid utility with his bullets, so I feel like that should be dispersed among.
So
them.
for his bullets right now, he has the
Keep
2
him alive.
Fortune's Favors, which is going to go off at the very beginning. He's got 2 Mass Heals, an Imprisonment, 2 True Resurrections, 2 Power Word Heals, 2 Psychic Screams, Anti-Magic Field, and 4 Animate Objects.
I'll
Plus his normal spells.
I'll take a blessed stone as well because if I get hit with an int save or a deck save, I'm fucked.
Yeah, I would also like a bless.
I'm also fucked with both of those saves.
Well, that's why
Yeah.
we have 12 blessed to distribute.
Yeah.
That's why I think it should go mainly to Dandy and Kane's group because there's no paladins in them, and then choosing them of the etc. because that's only 8. 9, I guess we're giving them to BB.
Well, Kane's group is going to need a lot of deck saves, I think. Well, maybe not deck saves, but a lot of saves.
Saves because of his weird
Yeah.
monk shit.
Yep.
Stunning
Cha-
strikes, stuff like that.
Among
charisma saves, because that's what he had us do.
Was that the
when he
brain
did
save?
No, it was Constitution saves.
It was con save. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah,
con
con
save.
saves are huge.
Because that's where you did the 1 punch of death bullshit. Was con save.
Also, everyone remember to put in the 29 temp HP on your character sheets now, so you
Doing
don't
that
forget about
right
it.
now.
Yeah, I
Yep.
did that.
Yeah.
Lysander can also do that, but nobody would have listened.
Do a long
Um,
rest first,
Yeah.
and then do it. Otherwise, it'll delete your temp HP if you haven't done so already.
Also, we'll be going into this with the Hero's Feast.
That's advantage on like, everything,
Um,
right? Pretty much.
Yeah, because I think
It's-
Alex forgot that,
Yeah.
but it's fine.
The
take it.
creature is cured of all diseases and poisons, becomes immune to poison and being frightened, and makes all wisdom saving throws with advantage. Its hit point maximum also increases by 2d10, and it gains the same number of hit points. These benefits last for 24 hours.
I
Do you
rolled
wanna-
really
Yeah,
shit,
those
but
on
you know,
top
whatever.
of the Harlan stuff.
How much HP was that? It was 2d10.
2d10.
Do
So-
you want to roll that?
Ian, it's different than temp HP. So you get temp HP, but with Hero's Feast, your hit
Oh,
point
sick.
maximum increases until you take a long rest.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
I'll take that.
Yeah,
Well, it's
Um,
24 hours.
24 hours. Sorry.
Uh,
In a day where either we win or we die.
Yep.
It's 2d10.
and
Are we
that
doing
came
them
from
individually?
Anook.
Should we do
Yeah.
them individually, or should one person roll and add that? I don't know.
I feel like we should all roll.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just,
Like one person rolls for all.
I
of
mean,
us.
if unless you
Oh.
want to take it from my roll because it was from Anook,
I think that makes sense.
That makes
That's
sense.
fair,
Do
yeah.
it.
which is 11,
11.
extra.
11.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Does it give us advantage on anything? I'm sorry if I missed.
Yeah, wisdom saves.
that. Okay.
So between this and now, Allie, if you would divvy your glyphs because you know best what they do to the parties based on this conversation. I have it
Mhm.
noted that we have Fortune Favor and Hero's Feast. I will write up a document of what all of those do, who has what, and get it to the party.
Thank you.
Because I'm gonna have to have it
Excellent.
written up to what all of that means just for my brain. So I figured
Yeah.
you all
Same.
would also need that.
That'd be very helpful.
Also,
Thank you.
if I'm not hitting Dianthos, every time he hits me, he hurts himself because I'm level 20 now. So if I could like make myself a threat and then just stand in front of him, that could work.
What's up?
Stop
What?
hitting yourself.
What?
Stop
What?
hitting yourself. Stop
What?
hitting yourself.
Fucker, bring it on.
Is using the glyphs an action or a bonus action or?
It's interacting with an object technically. So an
so it's
action.
free?
So basically,
actually-
before we walk through Olan's portal, we go that one, that one, that one, that one, and then they're all cast on us. Like as you pick up
Oh,
the rock, it's
okay.
cast.
Ooh, I'm
So we're gonna
about that.
drop them all on us and then
Uh-huh.
TP.
Exactly. Yeah. So the
Okay,
idea is like
that's awesome.
have the ones you want to because again 1 minute isn't a long time. So have the ones you want to cast. Just yank them at the same time. Hop through the portal.
Got you.
And
Pop
then
'em on there.
no
What's
talkie,
Illy's-
just fight.
Yeah,
What's up?
that is awesome.
What's Illy's AC?
22.
It's like
Rid-
22.
21.
No, 21. I looked at those earlier.
The fact that Ivan's the lowest at 19 says
Ivan-
a lot.
Ivan and
Ivan-
Argus are both at 19.
Ivan
Damn.
actually has 29. The mask isn't taken into account the plus 10 from charisma.
Jesus Christ.
So I really don't want you getting fucked up. So you would get, if I use Shield of Faith right away, you'd get like a plus. It's quadrupled now, so it's normally a +2. What the fuck would that be?
8.
8.
+8. Yeah, I might cast that on you right away, because that would suck if you went down.
Yeah. I also have a 23 AC because I forgot to count my bracers.
And I guess for the audience, since this was written in the chat, various numbers. I'm not going to read out the numbers because my brain's going to go mad. The glyphs that both Ileana and Ivan cast regenerate, holy weapon, divine favor, circle of power, aura of life, freedom of movement, heroism, which is a +10 because of Ivan, Tensor's transformation, greater
Crazy.
invisibility, draconic transformation, Tasha's otherworldly guise, true seeing, intellect fortress, a fuckload of blesses, and sanctuary.
That
So there's a lot that we're going to have stacked on us.
that heroism should go to the Kane fight.
We have 7 of them.
One of those should go to the Kane fight, maybe more
At the
than
very least.
Yeah, I was thinking one under Phil, one under get because it's just it's THP. It's at the start of your turn you get 10 THP. So until you burn through the 29, it does nothing. But after you have 0 from that, then
oh shit.
you start getting the 10 from heroism.
It just gets
Yeah.
10 every time it's out.
Proc.
So yeah. So heroism, it lasts for a minute. At the start of each of your turns, the person who has the buff on, they get THP equal to the spellcasting modifier of the caster.
So
Ivan
it's
of the
up
caster-
to 10. Period. Like it won't stack if I have 10, I have 20, I have 30.
Oh yeah. So the way THP works is THP never stacks, and the higher value will always take effect. So because he's just 29, heroism can be on you, but it doesn't do anything until all of that 29 is gone.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I also want to
Yeah.
point out really quickly, Inspiring Leader only affects 6 allies. So Dash and Ally.
Yeah. So we can also like make sure that we have heroism on the people who are not affected by that thing.
I'm gonna do an in character thing here and say that Harlan knows Lysander and Illy better than Ivan and Rhyme. So
Alex said
Well,
fuck that. It hits
yeah.
everybody.
oh
Merry
really?
Wedding miss.
Oh Jesus.
And a note from Alex in the chat, keep in mind the non-party members are not full gods, so we'll be taking more damage and
Yes.
dealing
And
less.
dealing less.
Okay, so maybe I save like Shield of Faith for other people.
Honestly,
many-
yeah.
Temp hit points did you say we were getting?
29
Thank you.
because my charisma is a 28 right now. Jesus.
And I thought I was doing good with my 25 and 24.
No, God
Intelligence
powers.
and wisdom.
God powers gave me crazy strength, crazy charisma. Probably not as strong as Garagak. So
I have
Honestly,
one
I'm
Garagak's
really
stat.
high
at
across
a
the board,
32
but not
strength.
nearly
Yeah,
as
yeah.
individually high
Yeah.
as everybody else.
Garagak is at a
have
strength that
one
does
stat in
not
the 20s
accept
and it's low 20s.
D&D Beyond.
Yeah, my strength score exceeds the maximum limit on D&D Beyond.
that's hilarious. I
Yeah.
like that.
So don't forget, now that you exceed it, Coda, you need to add +2 to everything that adds your strength modifier.
Yeah, I gotta remember. Or I think it's +1.
Oh yeah, it was 31, not
Yeah,
32.
yeah.
31.
But well, I'm at 32, but I think he said that 32 only gives me 1 more plus.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's in twos the
Yeah,
whole way
yeah.
up.
Right.
Either way, it's absurd.
Yeah.
I like that plan, Dash. That seems good.
Yeah.
I think that there should probably be like a. I know the Kane fight is not going to end fast, and the Dandelion fight probably isn't going to end fast. But we should try and wrap up Dianthus and the Goliath as quickly as possible, so we can get to the other fights.
If
that's
we
what-
can.
If
Right.
I
we
don't
can.
think we can. That was kind of what he intended it, or he implied is that.
Well, we have to
regardless
start all
what
of them
we-
at the same time. Theoretically, or not theoretically, there is a possibility once one fight is done and that like leg is taken out, we can find a way to get to the others, but we don't know. We don't know what that
Yeah.
Right.
transportation looks like. We don't know because like the barriers, Alex, you might need to clarify this. I think it was the barriers that protected teleportation magic.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have to find out when we get there. I asked
Yeah,
him this question
obviously.
last
Oh
week.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
It's
The
like, I think
implication
that's
that I
what we
got was that we have
assumed.
no idea
Mm.
how we'll be able to make it happen once we get there.
Yeah, so we
Mhm.
have zero guarantee that like if the Dianthus fight finishes, Harlan, Gum Gum, Sam, and Ileana might just be sitting there waiting for the other
Yeah.
fights to end.
And we won't have access to anybody.
Alex
outside
says
of
barrier
who's in
stop
each individual
teleportation. So
thing.
the faster we get the barrier fight done.
Which
Yeah.
is the Goliath, right?
Yeah.
Stops
Oh.
it from outside the city. So we
From
don't know
outside.
anything about inside the city.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Um,
every response to every question that was had anything to do with inside there was you'll
We
find
don't
out.
know. Yeah, we don't
find
know.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
Would
Which
it
I
make
mean
sense,
makes sense.
to add more resources to the Goliath fight in that
That
case?
was my concern. Is it's the two ends of that like spectrum of yes, if we rip
Yeah.
through the Goliath fight first, we might be able to get outside resources in more quickly, but we don't know what that's going to do. We don't know if they're going to
Yeah.
die when they
Fuck
just
around,
walk in
find out.
there. Like we don't know if we're going to be able to transport around, so I don't want to put more power. I want these fights to be as even as they can if nobody else can show up.
Yeah. And
we,
That's true.
I think the most power should be at Kane and Andy because those are the two most powerful that we know of for sure.
Ye-
Because Kane was the leader, and we made Dandelion stupid powerful.
Yeah.
there
That's
should.
true.
Okay, so in that case, oh fuck, I don't know.
Oh, we might then have to. That Dandy fight may not be as. Garrigac's a huge DPS, but that means Garbanzo, Soup, and Timothy are all doing at least half damage
Yes.
to Dandelion, the strongest god in existence.
As far as we know, they might not do any damage to him.
I know
Yeah.
Soup is at least a half god. I'm assuming the other three are also half gods. Otherwise, we wouldn't take them or we wouldn't be
Mhm.
allowed to.
Yeah,
I mean,
think
we
all
would, but they
NPCs
would
are
die. It would
10E.
be pointless.
I will say this is based on
Yeah.
nothing
All or
but
half?
knowing Alex, but it could be very possible that we as full gods against the strongest of all conceivable gods do half damage. If there's a demigod present, then that's like quarter at best, you know?
Yeah.
We won't know until we get there.
No, we won't. That's the horrible thing.
And that's like my one concern looking at this list of that is the one we know 100% is a god. The others might also have aspects because we don't know what Xerxes
almost
is doing
certainly.
to get aspects. Cain had two, so who knows what else he has. He for a fact said he had more, but whatever bluffing was going
It's
back and
it's-
forth.
Isn't it feasible that the Goliath has one too? Is
He
that
theoretically does. I think
Okay.
He's
his
got
is
something like an
synthetic.
aspect.
Yeah.
I think he just copies aspect because under his weird mind control that I'm assuming he's under, that we assume he's under very
Yeah.
heavily with good information.
But he's also had hundreds of
Um,
years to train, improve, and change.
Yeah, he just says aspect and shit happens.
He
Which
says
is
aspect
annoying
and he
shit.
summons a different class version of himself that does a thing and then disappears. At least
so
that's what did happen previously.
kind of like Kane, but
Mhm.
different and weird?
Yeah.
Yeah, not
But-
a different monk, but it's like, I'm a wizard, do a wizard spell on you, or I'm a cleric, you're healed.
We did notice if you pulled the crystals out of him, the aspect of that crystal stopped showing up.
We
Yeah.
never got that far. That was Lysander's thought process. We never got a crystal out. But he got real
we did.
pissed when Lysander went for him.
I could have
Mm.
swore you
did.
got a crystal out.
No, not that I remember. Unless I did.
I think you got one out because one of them stopped showing up, and that's why he
Yes.
got he
Oh,
started getting
okay.
tossed around through the wall because he couldn't
Mhm.
dispel
Yeah.
shit.
He got
anymore.
tossed around the wall
That was
very
before.
early.
Yeah, that was before. But
It was a
I'm
surprise.
almost
Something
100%
definitely
you got
happened because of that.
one out. But
I
yeah,
trust you. It's been a hot minute.
it has for me too. But I mean,
That's
I don't
something
know.
mechanically
Check the
we can do
archives.
about.
Hey, go back and watch that episode. It was probably cool. Tapartos died.
That's true.
It's like the only thing
What
that
a surprise.
that if we wanted to change it based off of that is switching me with Garbanzo Bean and Timother.
Yeah.
Because Soup's not gonna let Tapartos go anywhere without him now. And Garrigac's there. That Soup would want to be there. And then that way Tapartos, if
Regarding
he
what?
felt like it, just for the final fight, Soup would go with Garrigac and Tapartos.
I did
regardless.
recruit Soup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
Honestly,
feel like
that's
we're
not.
kind of
we
in
didn't
this
want to
to the
put
end.
Garbanzo Bean and Timother there just in case they don't do any damage. The best person to swap with them is me,
Yeah, that's
because
not a
that
bad
lets-
call.
because
Yeah.
that lets you choose what you want to do.
We
If
should
you go,
give-
if you want to go full on all out damage to Partos that day,
Yeah,
I can literally turn myself into a healer.
that's true.
We should
Yeah,
give.
it's true. You have all the spells.
And
Uh,
Garrigak and I have multiple ways of teleporting ourselves out of danger.
We should give our
Yeah.
holy weapon glyphs to non-gods. Definitely.
Mhm.
There's only 3 though.
Yeah.
You
Shit.
want to hear my list so far? I have everything but the blesses and the heroisms divvied up.
I think we start with. I think the boys should get it. I think we would divvy them to the boys first.
Yeah, what do you got?
Gum
Ella?
Gum.
Yeah.
Soup,
So the answer
Bill.
is yes, Allie. We would like to
Okay.
hear that.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So for right now, what I have just quick thinking on it. Regenerate ×2, 1 for Howlin, 1 for Tapotos. Holy Weapon, 1 for Garrigak, 1 for Bubba, 1 for Phil. Divine Favor, 1 for Phil, 1 for Bubba. Only because they're fighters, so they get the extra attacks, they can make full use of that extra 1d4 damage.
Makes sense.
Circle of Powers ×3, 1 on Rhyme, 1 on Tapotos, 1 on August.
Isn't holy
Um,
weapon 2d8 additional?
Yes.
So yeah,
Oh, sorry.
the holy weapon is the holy weapons are Garrigak, Phil, and Bubba, but then the divine favor, the level 1 version of that. I only have 2 of those. Those are going to be for Phil and Bubba.
Okay.
The Circle of Powers, Rhyme, August, Tapotos. The Aura of Life, Lockthwain. Freedom of Movement, going to be on Garrigak and Bubba. I put it on Garrigak because
What is it?
freedom of movement. You can't
Means
be
you can't be
restrained,
restrained or
and you
stunned.
ignore difficult terrain. I think there's like a small list. If you want to look it up, it's a level 4 spell.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Or level 6 spell, sorry. And then on Bubba, I might swap that over to Lockthane, because Ivan's definitely going to be using that Ravenous Void thing, and that makes like a 240 bubble of difficult terrain. Anyway, we can think of that later.
Keep in mind, Lockthwain is a high level monk. I think they have some difficult terrain ignoring, but I don't know if that's a specific path or just monks.
Ooh, okay. I'll double look at Lockthane then. Anyway, the Aura of Life on Lockthane, Freedom of Movement, Garrigak and Bubba. The heroisms I haven't divvied up yet, but gonna give them to like non-gods, help keep them up, help keep them alive.
Yeah.
Tinter's Transformation. This is the one that gives you extra damage on your attacks, makes all your attacks advantage, and you have 50 THP. Downside is you cannot cast spells. So give it to Garrigak, Bubba, and Phil.
Smart.
That's
That'd be really
smart.
solid.
That's
I was
smart.
thinking maybe are smites spells? Okay. I was like,
Yeah.
because it might have been smart to toss on the paladins and then they could just regular divine smite, but those are spells. So
And that's
they're
tensors.
at will free whatever. Tensors.
I mean, they
transfers.
use
Transformation.
spell slots, so I would
Mhm.
assume they're spells.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
It's a good call.
Great invisibility, because for Dispel Magic, you have to see the target, and we already have pretty big stacks on Garrigak, Phil, and Bubba. 3 great invisibilities to the same 3 people. Makes it that much harder. They have to have some form of seeing them for the Dispel Magic.
They might have
Um,
true sight, but
Yeah. So the biggest risk in this is that we all kind of stacking a lot onto, those 3 people.
Which
So if they go
might
down, we're in a lot of
be
trouble.
smart, I think, because they're not gods.
If they
Garrigak is,
don't,
but-
yeah. So
Oh.
if they don't dispel, that's ridiculous amounts of extra damage every
Yeah.
swing and advantage every swing and all that good stuff.
Coming
Also-
from the
And if they
fighters that
do,
can
then it's
swing
wasting
3
those
times a
dispels
turn.
regardless.
4 times at level 20.
Yeah.
So yeah. Sorry, what was that, Tapatos?
I was just saying, if they do, then it's wasting those dispels regardless that we can
Exactly. But I was
place other
thinking
things in those pieces for.
But I was thinking, I'd like your all input on it. The Tempest transformation already gives advantage for attacks. So if you want to divvy up the great invisibility to other people, who
That
might,
might be
That'd
kick
be
ass
fun.
on. That'd be might be kick ass on Rhyme actually.
ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, actually,
Yeah, that
Wait,
would
what
be
would be?
Could be.
greater invisibility.
Yes, but Rhyme has the lovely thing where I don't need advantage for sneak attack,
Yep. you're
but
right.
it does make me a thing to not hit. But the entire point of Rhyme being there is to be a thing to to be that distraction point between me and
Um,
Lockthwain.
I think
Okay.
we should throw it on Samantha or Gum Gum because that party hasn't gotten a lot of anything.
Fucking Gum
Okay.
Gum with a greater invisibility with his fucking shots that
Yeah.
His
Yeah,
are
antimatter gun.
insane.
Okay,
Even
give it
if
to
it
Gum
is
Gum.
half or whatever, like that's gonna be a lot going in there.
Okay, give it to Gum Gum.
So we have one more. If you give one to Samantha, one to Gum Gum, we still have one more.
I think that's fine because Samantha's also a rogue.
No,
Okay,
So
she's a.
that's
Isn't she a?
she's a scout
ranger?
rogue.
Yeah, she is a rogue with the scout feature or whatever.
But Illy,
Oh,
you're
it's a
saying in
ranger.
addition to those two, we have
Or is
one
she a
This-
more?
ranger?
The
Yeah, it's a
scout.
ranger.
The scout is a ranger's subclass.
Then what the fuck was she? I literally just pulled her up earlier
Ranger.
today.
I
Yeah.
just looked at it. It's ranger.
Oh, is she? Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
but she has bows on her, so
Scout
think that-
is good damage too. So maybe
Yeah.
greater invisibility.
giving her greater invisibility for her bow shots with sharpshooter.
and
could be
that's
really good.
Samantha.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have 3 of the great invisibilities, one for Samantha, one for Gum Gum. I'm thinking Lockthwain, the monk, for the last one. He's the one with the aura of life as well, so it'll help give that team
Oh,
slightly
okay.
more survivability. We have 3 intellect, one draconic transformation for Howlin. It gives you a bonus action force breath. So you have a slight ranged option. It's like 30 feet, I think. Level 7 spell draconic transformation. And it gives you like flight and some other stuff too. Intellect Fortress for Teportos, Ivan, and Tumult. That's advantage on your mental saves, charisma, and intelligence, and wisdom. And I think you have like resistance to psychic damage. The 4 true scenes, I have one on Garagak, one on Rhyme, one on Bubba, one on Samantha. I was iffy on those. If you all think that there's better targets of the true scene, I was trying to give one to each party.
I do have I don't know if True Scene's the same thing, but I do have like Devil Sight or whatever. I can see through magical darkness now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I
And
took
True
that.
Sight's a little bit of a step up from that, but not wildly much.
Yeah, it's still good to give it to somebody else then. Maybe give
Okay.
it to like Soup or yeah.
I
maybe
think give it to
somebody
one
else.
of the ranged class. No, no, because it's how far is it?
I want to say 120 feet.
That's usually what it is, yeah.
Then yeah,
Or at least
I
for the
think one of
sites it is.
one of the ranged boys, which I think Soup is also a ranged boy.
Yeah, Soup only has the bow of Nylea, which makes me very sad because it doesn't do anything for him. But I don't know
Aw.
if Alex went through and gave the boys 5 each. Like we
They've
potentially
got
talked about.
something
like
they've
we got.
been fighting.
Yeah, like Soup's bow is still good. It just doesn't have any of the fancy, like all the fancy stuff is like once per season you can sort of weirdness.
Yeah.
Like make crops
cute
grow
stuff.
better. And I think we got that from Titan, whatever.
And then Tumult himself has blind sight, dark vision, and true sight. I have all of it.
I think Lysander and Garagak both have true sight within 10 feet because I think we both took that. Or blind sight or something within a short range. But
Blind
having
sight.
actual people with that to kind of play
Um,
comms is useful.
Draconic transformation does give blind sight. So do we have a fight that we know people can go invisible on that we'd be fighting? No. Okay.
Not really. We think Dandy might, but we don't know for a fact on any of them really.
Dandy might, and
Yeah.
I would put money on the Goliath just because
He's got a wizard, or at least
he's
had
got
a wizard when we
He
fought
had a
him
wizard
last.
before. He had a wizard version of himself.
We don't know that they'll use it either. So you know.
Yeah.
But we don't know if those things are materializing into form or if they are existing invisibly. And if they are existing invisibly, that's a huge thing to see. Because none of us had that when we got into those previous fights.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe draconic transformation goes to someone fighting the Goliath. Well, we don't know what the fuck Dianthus can do. either.
We don't.
We have no idea.
No, I think
No
I think
idea.
you should keep any bonuses you get because so far your group has the least going for it. So anything that we have divvied to you, I think you should just keep.
Okay.
Because it could be a steamroll, because like the only exposure that we had previously of what Dianthus could do was get his shit rocked by BB. But there is a big part of my soul that has that irking fear that he faked it to get to Lysander.
That actually, yeah, that fly speed's gonna be fucking killer for Harlan. I'm gonna take that one.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't need that. I have 240
So-
feet of fly speed.
I guess it comes down to, are we flipping me and Garbanzo bean into
I think
Milford?
that's smart too,
I think we
Um,
should.
because
So if we
you
do, we
two-
should probably give them something, because now that's 2 half gods on the Goliath,
Mhm.
and that Goliath wrecked us when we only had 2 demigods at the time.
The
Should
Goliath
we-
was
To be
almost a
fair,
TPK.
Should we
It
move
was,
BB?
but it was also almost a TPK when we
No,
were
I
Like level
what,
16.
14?
Yeah.
Yeah, but think
So
about
they're
it. We
very-
sent, he got sent careening through time, and space. We don't know how much time he had to get better.
We don't. We absolutely don't.
And so, and also Garbanzo and Timothar have nothing, no bonuses given to them at all. So I think we should give them something.
The hard part
Okay.
is he is a wild magic sorcerer. And I think those two swaps are really smart. To put 3 full gods and soup on Dandy. It does leave us. Oh, Bubba's a fighter though.
And a
Yeah,
sorcerer.
I think if we do
As
that,
in, oh, go ahead.
I think if we do that, we'll swap the big stack from Garagak to Lysander. That'll give that team that move. I'm hesitant about putting too much of the big stacks on non-gods, because what if those are also halved in damage, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at more like the blesses and the heroism on the non-gods to keep them up, but more of the damage stuff.
On the
On
god
people
gods.
On the
who we
god
know can
gods.
deal out the damage.
Yeah. I do like great invisibility on wild magic sorcerer though. I think that would be a nice like survivability thing. Heroism, great invisibility on
Yeah, it just keeps
Garbanzo.
him tucked out of the
Yeah.
way, basically.
Yeah. Maybe even intellect fortress, because I don't know how wild magic sorcerer works, but blow up stuff on themselves, they can give themselves extra advantage on, mental
Yeah,
saves or whatever.
This is
Mhm.
from my experience as we're only like level 12 or something.
13. You should be level 13.
Yeah.
matters.
Wild magic sorcerers are can be, depending how they're built. I didn't read through his spells. Super high DPS, but they are glass cannons, and every time they cast a level spell, they have to roll a wild magic surge, which means that 8th level fireball could now be fucking chaos bolt or turn themselves into a potted plant, or it could be a disintegration ray, or they could grow a feather beard. Like, you can't predict, especially depending what tables Alex pulls for that wild magic sorcerer.
Yeah, could
What's
summon an
gonna happen?
astral fucking dreadnought.
Yeah.
Or some
Yeah.
shit.
They could throw Finger of Death on you all of a sudden, or they could do it on themselves. You have no
Yeah.
idea.
So I think giving Garbanzo anything that would kind of prevent him from being targeted, because with that chaos might be the first thing to go. Like, no, you're doing weird consistent damage. Get out of here. And also just kind of any sort of protection from, hey, you're a potted plant now, which is the one I always pull to. But like, that's the scary one where literally you're polymorphed into a potted plant and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
So we might just lose Garbanzo. Like, round 1. It's
It
not
would be
very
so fun.
likely, but it is possible.
I mean, yeah, there's also like it's a low roll. Like I think he has to roll like a 2 on it.
It's not worth tempting that fate.
Yeah.
So I think
Overall,
just
there's
putting
also the
some
very-
protection stuff on that, so we're suddenly not down to 3 or 2 in Argus's eyes. But that gives us 5 because we have Timothar, so we're actually solidly up at 4 now on
Well,
this team.
Wild Magic Surge isn't like there's no way to give advantage on that or like
No.
bonuses to
No.
that at all. Like it just happens. So maybe we kind of just have to let that happen.
Yeah,
Let the
like if
dice
there
decide.
was one of the, because I don't know off the top of my head, because I am not Allie's Rolodex of D&D brain, what all of those glyphs do. But if there's anything that like lets you succeed on a save or whatever, like immediately, because I don't think a lot of the wild magic stuff you get saves against anyway. It's just they
It just
still have to
happens.
get the save if it's like, oh, instead I'm doing fucking
Yep.
Tasha's Mind Whip on you. You still have to make the save against Tasha's Mind Whip. But yeah.
No, I've sank a lot of time into studying Wild Magic Sorcerers for both you and Tommy. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
So
But keeping him out of sight is not bad.
uh,
Because like I said, glass cannons. I don't know what his AC
Yeah.
is off the top of my head, but boy howdy, they tend to be low because they can't wear armor.
Yeah, the sorcerers.
Yeah.
I'm making notes of each one of these I have, and then next to the thing I have is exactly what it does. So I'm not like mid fucking fight. Like, hang on, I gotta Google what this.
Yeah, that's why it's like I'm gonna make a list and
Yeah.
like a brief blurb of what everything does and go from there.
Yeah, I'm writing this shit down. Everything.
I believe he's a
just-
glass cannon, if I'm not mistaken.
His
when I looked
AC
at it
is
earlier.
14,
yep, that's make
but
him
he
hard
has
to
he
hit.
has a staff of fire and a staff of power.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe make
And the
him
wand of the
invisible.
war mage +3. But yeah, 14 AC with 122 hit points.
And who is he on?
Team Goliath.
Oh, okay. Might not be too
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with this plan.
bad. Mm-hmm.
I think so too. Honestly, like it's the best that we've got, and anything else we can potentially try to plan for is just going to be, what ifs that we're throwing around.
Yeah. Honestly.
I mean, yeah, and I'm happy to take the wild card fight kind of here. So, like,
Well, this does a
but-
lot because I mean,
Check
That's-
the notes section of the character sheets on Samantha, Garbanzo, and Lochtwain.
We
We
don't
can't
have
see the
access to
notes.
them.
Yeah, we can't see that.
Oh, it
Um,
was just in the COVID D&D chat. So
Yeah, short
Yeah.
version for you all. Alex went to grab food, stuff like that, laid down, and he has to take his evening meds, which make him really loopy. So I'm wrapping up this for all of us.
Great.
Alex, just be sure to get us copies of that sometime in the next week, and we will shift and adjust as needed. Because I'm assuming the notes contain their god powers,
Mhm.
which is useful to know. But
Can
we
make up for a
can,
lot of the downsides.
yeah, we can shift the three of them around if needed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, audience, this may not be the 100% finalized plan, but it's going to be pretty damn close, plus or minus shifting like 2 people, possibly.
Yeah.
yeah,
think
once
we're
we can
here.
see their god powers.
Yep.
Because honestly, I think what we have is probably as well-rounded as we can get. And we were throwing BB on Kane, right?
Yes. I think
So-
those two fights should have the most people with the most chance of just hit hard and be there.
So-
moving the
Disrupt.
2 people from Dandy to the Goliath. Do we want BB somewhere else? Because Dandy now only has 4. Because
I don't know. Kane scares me more than Dandy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
It's the toss
Yeah.
up.
I can look at those character sheets if you want to
Oh,
hear
that's
about
right. You're the admin.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah, I forgot this is
Lock
technically your
Rock.
campaign.
Yeah.
It's not.
As far as D&D.
I mean,
Beyond is
like,
concerned.
Yeah, I
In
know.
D&D Beyond, it is technically your campaign.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
Samantha has the aspect of determination.
Ooh.
She is filled with the
You
power of
inspire-
Undertale.
You inspire those around you. Once per turn, You
Oh.
can grant an ally advantage on a roll. When you
Ooh.
do, they gain temporary hit points equal to the total they roll.
I feel like
That's
that's a good
interesting.
thing to have versus Dianthos is just advantage just to end that fight as fast as possible.
And with that going on Gum Gum and Harlan. I think
Mhm.
Harlan already has it from part of his fucking enchantment stack, but yeah.
So who was the
Oh,
other
yeah,
one? Timother and Lochthwan?
Yeah, Garbanzo
and
Bean and
Lochthwain.
Lochthwain.
Oh,
It'll just be
Garbanzo Bean.
Garbanzo. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm assuming
There he
Timothy might
is.
be in his note
There they are.
section.
yeah, it's all in their note sections. Sorry, I have Lochthwan. I didn't have Garbanzo. Lochthwan has the, pardon me, aspect of ferocity. When
Oh.
activated, add 3d6 bludgeoning damage. You gain an additional attack when you use an attack action. Additionally, you deal an additional 5 damage per consecutive hit on a creature. Missing resets this bonus.
That's huge. And I think useful to go to the stack of monks. So I think keeping him there is not bad.
That's
I
metal.
agree.
And Alex
And-
said Timother is just straight up a Baylor.
Okay.
Like mechanically, I think a la Ivan not being able to sense it, he's technically not, but for mechanics' sake, he's just straight up a Baylor.
And that
That's
was
what I
actually
figured.
one of
That's
the
fair.
things I was going to put together as one of my mechanical monsters.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I didn't. Speaking of which, before we get into Garbanzo, I'm taking a Nightwalker, an ancient topaz dragon, and a cosmic horror.
Nice.
God, that's the balance of I really want Argus there to do the best he can with the barriers, but God, Argus is going to be a real fucking hard hitter.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
I mean, with those
I
sort
mean,
of things on hand, very
those,
much could
yeah.
be, I should say.
So Garbanzo,
Your utility is insane.
Garbanzo has the aspect of immolation.
Fire!
All instances of fire damage you deal are doubled. In addition, you have advantage on attack rolls to deal fire damage.
That is metal.
From
Nice.
Garbanzo?
Okay.
Yeah.
Garbanzo.
Yeah, throw that at the Goliath.
Well, and also putting that with Lysander, I don't know how those things will interestingly stack, who also has a fire aspect, could do some dope shit.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I don't think they overlap the same way, but I basically just do
Dude.
fire. I have fire spells and more fire damage.
So you
I
take
mean, it sounds
talking swapping
complementary.
out Bubba and Garbanzo. Is that what you're saying?
Tumult and
No.
Garbanzo was
Oh,
the thought.
tumult.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have
That-
Bubba the fighter, you as kind of your all-around utility, Garbanzo as our caster, and then me as that like tank.
That way it's caster for caster, but we have 3 full gods at Dandy versus
No,
2
no,
half
I get it.
gods. Yeah.
We also
Probably
inadvertently
be.
put loyalty and determination together in a fight. That's kind of cool.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, we
And-
have
and two
the
fires.
against Dandelion, we have what's Garriak's aspect? The aspect of the
Sun.
sun, aspect of death on Tapartos,
And then
and
just
I have
ult.
an aspect of Vecna that I will not touch.
And Alex to the boys also have god powers written out in their notes. That's your problem, but do they have them written out in their notes sections?
I'm
He's
pulling it
muted.
up right now.
He's muted. I don't know if
They
he's-
should,
They
yes.
should, yes.
No,
He's
he's
laying
just writing
down, so he's
notes.
just texting the
Oh.
group chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is come?
Yeah, because this gives our fight with Dandelion a lot more flexibility, I think, and reliability. Because
Yeah,
my
I think
spells
so.
don't come with magic surge, wild magic surge.
Gum has the aspect of aggression.
Oh hell yeah.
Hell yeah, he does.
That's so fitting.
Loyalty,
When-
determination, aggression.
And life.
When activated, add 3d6 piercing damage to all damage rolls.
Yeah.
Once per turn, you can treat
Yeah.
any attack roll you make that hits as a critical hit. This
Yep.
crit triples dice instead of doubles them.
Good
Holy
we
shit.
put him on not Dianthus then.
I think we should let him stay there starting on Dianthos.
Or ending on. Keep in mind we don't know that we can move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we do
I
switch him out with someone.
I think once we take the barriers down, we could probably, with the casters we have, find a way to move about.
Yeah.
Because what we
That being
did
said-
know was if we all only attacked one spot, the others would show up.
Alex.
Bold assumption.
What he's saying.
Alex. Bill has the aspect of heart.
Oh!
When activated, add
Motherfucker.
3d6 force damage to every damage roll. Once per turn, you can bolster an ally you can see with temporary hit points equal to your con score as a free action.
That's smart because I don't think we threw a lot of temp HP on the cane stack either. So that's good.
And
That's
that's
good.
if it's equal to the con score, that's 26.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I guess another swap we could do is Gum Gum for Soup if we want to put more damage on.
Well, let's find out what soup can do.
Because wow, my brain just fucking stopped as I was saying something. That's exciting for me.
Are you okay if I jump in?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just from what it seems like, and if we are going off of the admittedly bold assumption that we might be able to do things between, what have you, once somebody falls, it might be worthwhile to keep Gum Gum on Dianthos to be able to just burn him down as fast as possible, so that if we do need to disperse people, hopefully he's the first to go down and we can send people out as necessary.
I don't think we'll be able to send people out until the barrier goes down.
And am I incorrect in saying
Dianthus is
that
on the
Dianthus is-
engines.
He's on the
Oh.
engines.
The Goliath is
Goliath
on the barriers.
My bad. I
Okay,
apologize.
so soup. I'm assuming this
Sorry,
is
I
some
thought you-
kind of an orc god or something, but has the aspect of Gormsh.
Yeah, that's the orc god.
Yeah.
You
there you
literally
go.
just talked about it today.
When activated, double any damage you do. Allies within 30 feet of you deal an extra 15 damage for every instance of damage they deal.
Whoa.
Okay. So switch Gum and Soup. Or
Yeah,
yeah.
because on his own, because we still have invisibility on Gum Gum, right?
I think that's the current plan. Yeah.
And
So it's
then
the
with
balance
his-
of everyone. Soup might be useful to keep on Dandy because Soup, yeah, doubles his own damage, but also other people's. So that means the 3 gods are also doing more damage.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
Against
Doesn't
the
a
god
dandy crit,
But doesn't
but
he have to
doubled.
be near us?
within 15 feet. Yeah.
Within, yeah,
I think that's what you said.
Do
within
we
30,
want?
I thought I said.
30? Okay.
Oh, that's
Oh,
actually
30
perfect.
feet. Yeah, 30 feet's
Let me
not that
let me
bad.
double check.
Yeah, like if it's within 15 feet, that's really bad. Because I mean, he's a ranger. Like we don't want him in
Yeah.
Dandy's face.
If it's 30 though, it's perfect because I'll be within 30 at all times. If I can help it, of course. So I don't get tossed around.
I'm pulling it back up. I have so many tabs up, y'all.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Nope, it is 30 feet.
Within 30
Nice.
feet. Okay.
15 additional damage within 30 feet.
So I think that 15 coming from the gods, because I'm
I
from
think
the
it's gonna be
logic of that.
halved.
From the logic of that, it's giving y'all 15 extra damage. It's not him giving 15 damage. So I don't know if it's going to be halved the same way.
Still extra damage from 3 gods.
Yeah.
From 3
If-
people as opposed to just Gum Gum, who is doing half, if not quarter.
Yep.
Against Dandy.
Okay,
Which,
cool.
to be fair, his is 3 times, so it levels out. That kind of makes him like a full god in his own. 6 and one,
these are
half a dozen the
all-
other. Yeah.
These are all aspects. I don't know if they're the half aspects.
On
Mhm.
the outside of the party, they're half aspects, so they would
Okay.
be doubled if they were full.
Mhm.
But as is, this is what they are. They just might be halved demigod versus god, like levels of divinity damage.
Yeah. So I feel like they'll do normal or at least half damage to everyone but Dandy and probably Kane.
We don't know. We don't know who has aspects though on that side.
Nope.
Do we want to swap anyone knowing that information?
I'm fine
The
with
only
it
ones I'd
as
say
is.
are Gum Gum and Soup, but I think Soup.
Yeah, Gum
Both of
Gum
them
and
are
Soup
good
might
either
be,
way.
Yeah. So I think that's probably the best that we have. Allie, keep getting me that list, and we'll audience give you that definitive list of who's getting what magic glyphs by the start of next one. But as of right now, what we have is going for Dianthos is Harlan, Gum Gum, Samantha, and Ileana. Going for Dandelion is Garagak, Partos, Tumult, and Soup. Going for the Goliath is Lysander, Argus, Garbanzo Bean, and Timother, and Bubba. And then going for Kane is Rhyme, Ivan, Lockthwain, Phil, and BB. And then pretty much what we had discussed earlier, re-glyph stacks. But we'll get a more definitive list of who has what starting at the combat next time. There might no promises. There might be some tiny shifting around, but I think we are probably as set as we can be without talking in circles for another 3 hours and deciding more or less the same thing, or maybe a slightly different thing. Does everyone else feel relatively confident?
Confident
so.
enough,
So.
and this is the right decision, regardless of what Tumult thinks.
Yeah, we're the best of what we can, bashing our brains together. Having discussed this for over an hour, I think at this point, because the session ran
Wow.
real long. Yeah,
I think we've made the best decisions we can with the information we have.
yeah, because everything is going to be kind of shit on a shingle once we get there. So
Yep.
We'll see. With that, we'll keep doing some more discussion. Nothing too big, nothing too fancy, just readjusting things. Party, I will get you all hopefully a divided list of who has what, so we all have time to prepare those things. And with that, we're gonna call this session. So everyone at home, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Please go and do all the YouTube shenanigans that we always tell you to do. Like the video, comment on the video, and tell us what you would have planned in this situation. This might be a fun one. Let us know what you would have
How we're
done
wrong.
many weeks
Yeah.
afterwards. And we might have gone, oh shit, that's so much better.
Please tell us how we fucked up.
Yeah, I would love to
would
see it,
love that.
especially on this one, because I know you all folks at home have intense battle planning brains, so I want to see how it comes out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're on that slow climb. And keep in mind, just because this campaign's coming to an end does not mean you won't see our lovely faces going forward. We're going to keep doing things. We got cool concept. We got cool things. We got people who might pop in, pop out, shift things around, but we're going to keep on, keeping the dicey goodness binding our hearts or something. It's getting late and I'm sick. So we're in a space. Thank you all for watching.
buddy.
and love all your lovely faces. And we will see you in 2 weeks' time for the next episode of The Dice That Bind Us. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.